In this tutorial, we will examine setting up the equipment, and we will be highlighting some safety precautions that you should pay attention to in your titration experiment. Let's examine now carefully setting up the equipment. An inexperienced scientist has set up a burette ready for filling. Let's fill this burette and see what happens. So obviously, this is not the right way to go about it. We will make some changes to the setup and fill the burette again. So first of all, when you want to fill the burette, place it on this side, and the burette should be below your eye level. So let's move it downwards until it's below the eye level. Another point is to make sure that the burette is closed. Of course, we don't want to pour our solution into the burette without closing it, because this means that we are wasting our solution. So we will close the tap over here. So now the burette is closed. No solution can pass from the tip. Another thing that you should pay attention to is the clamp tightness. Make sure that it's not loose and not tight to avoid breaking the burette. And of course, you have to add a funnel at the top of the burette so that no solution is wasted. Let's try now filling the burette. So now we have filled the burette correctly. So before starting the experiment, you have also to make sure you remove the funnel, because if any liquid drips from the funnel after you have started the titration, errors will be introduced in your measurements. So you have to remove the funnel to make a good reading of the volume, which we will discuss later. Also, there may be an air bubble in the tap or in the region below the tap. We will run it through some of the solution just to clear any bubbles if present. And of course, make sure to add a small beaker to collect any run-through from the burette, and then you will add your conical flask. Now we will practice how to read a burette. Actually, we have to take note of two volumes, which is the initial reading on the burette and the final one after we have conducted the titration experiment. So this is a burette. Notice that at the top we have the 0, and then here we have 1, 2, and 3. Now we will take the initial reading. The reading should be taken to 2 decimal places, where the second one is 0 or 5. So this is 1, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. So we should report this reading as 1.30. Then we will run the titration and we will record the final reading. This is 23.5 and 23.6. So remember to report your reading to 2 decimal places. Pay attention that this is 23.6 and not 24.4. We read in this direction. Try to find the initial reading yourself now, and then let's check the answer. Now we will run the titration and we have to take the final reading. So again, record the final reading. Always remember to record your reading to 2 decimal places, where the second one should be 0 or 5. So these are the correct readings. What are some safety precautions to pay attention to? So first of all, when using a burette, make sure that it's clamped securely and vertically for maximum safety and accuracy, and never ever fill a burette above eye level. Clamp the burette. Ensure that the burette is securely clamped. If it's too loose, the burette may slip through the clamp and break, and if the clamp is too tight, the burette may shatter. Usually, if you are using a 50 cm cube burette, it should be clamped at around 30 to 35 cm cube level. Never fill a burette above eye level. You should always bring the top of the burette below eye level and fill using a funnel. Don't forget to remove the funnel at the end. The tap should be controlled with one hand while the other hand is used to mix the contents of the flask. Never force the tap. So these are the safety precautions that you should pay attention to while conducting a titration experiment.